Welcome everyone to the Mastermind Book Club, another session of a wonderful and amazing book on money. What is the name of this book? Who is the author? Here to introduce that is Reggie Hilliard. Reggie, take it away.
Good evening, everyone. Reggie Hilliard here to introduce today's book, The Art of Money Getting by P.T. Barnum. Some of you might be familiar with P.T. Barnum. If you've heard of the Barnum and Bailey Circus, he is the culprit behind that. And he also had a lot of very good and informative information as it relates to money, getting money, as is per the name of the book, The Art of Money Getting. So one thing I'll focus on, which I think is a big deal, is environment. Environment. Environment has to do with where you're located. Environment has to do with who you're around. The environment has to do with internally, how you are mentally, spiritually, emotionally. All of those are parts of environments that are very crucial or important when it comes to money getting. Because if your environment is not intact, your ability to get money will be very, very, very bad. So as it relates to the environment, for example, if you have a cloudy mind, if you've been smoking, if you have a lot of impurities in your body, you're consistently drinking, inebriated, if you're in the wrong environment as it relates to placement in terms of the home you're in, it's very volatile. The place that you live, the environment, it's crazy conditions, frenzied. If you have a situation where you're not in the right environment as it relates to what you are attuned to being able to make money in, then all of those things will factor into whether or not you'll be able to make money or how well you'll be able to make money. And then on the other side of that is how well you even be able to keep money. So I think a key area is to focus on the environment, as I mentioned, those particular environments that I've touched on. And if you will make sure that you put a lot of attention and focus there, you can certainly set yourself up to being able to really acquire a certain amount of money and the type of monies that maybe you will, maybe want to imagine yourself having. You can definitely have those things happen, but it all comes down to where you are and what you do.
Thank you, Reg. That's beautifully said.
You're welcome.
It all does come down to who you are and what you do. Thank you. Mr. Charles Comer.
Yes, good evening, everyone. The book, The Art of Money Getting by P.T. Barnum, the famous statesman or the famous senator from Virginia, John Randall, stated that there's nothing more compassionate or nothing more than the philosopher's stone than self-reliance. So when we look at the book mentions self-reliance, perseverance. As far as debt, you have to pay as you go. There's no shortcuts. We've talked about this before. Debt is not always your friend, especially if you're buying articles of clothing, you're buying food, you're buying cars. Now, debt can be used in a positive way if it's going to bring you a profit. However, most of us, we take debt and we use it in the wrong areas of our lives. And debt is a hard taskmaster. Whereas if you were the one being the lender or the creditor, you would be making money as you sleep. So that's what I wanted to just bring that to mention as the book goes on to talk about Shakespeare. There is a trade in men's affairs which harness at the very root that what will make them wealthy is to avoid debt. So pay as you go is something that I really want to emphasize from the book to deter yourself from debt. Even David Crockett said to be sure that you know, and then when you know, to be sure. To avoid this debt, to keep your life on purpose and on track, you have to have a balance in life. You can't eat all your seed. Your job is your seed. And if you do not save, which the book talks about, you have to learn to live on less and be able to put some away for building wealth. So that's what I'm going to end and commenting on for this evening. And I thank you for your time.
If you don't save, what was that saying again? If you don't
You
save, you're gonna
can't.
have to live on.
If you don't save, you have to live on credit.
You do,
And
or
credit is not the thing you want to live on. It's
or
a
not
hard
much of.
taskmaster.
Thank
You
you,
know,
Charles. I
it's like taking
appreciate that.
fire.
This book hits upon 20 rules on money making. Some of them for me are obsolete. Maybe for you they are right. But I just wanted to go over some of them. I know Reggie and Charles mentioned some of them very quickly in the next minute or so. Stay true to yourselves is number one. Number two is location, location. For me, both of these are very similar. Meaning, if you're in a business or if you're on vacation, just be wherever you are and be true to that space. Number three, avoid debt. For me, avoiding debt is impossible in the sense that I'm not rich yet and I need some leverage. And as long as I can get a low interest rate, I cannot avoid debt because inflation is kicking in and interests are going up. And if I can lock in a lower loan, I can invest it in land, for example. So there are certain ways that can be resourceful, and that depends on reality, on your circumstance. Money is like fire. It's very excellent servant, but a terrible master. Number four, persevere. Keep going. Don't stop. Just like Charles mentioned and Reggie, Shakespeare is talked about in this book throughout. Whatever we do it with all our might. That's number five. We just stop when we're halfway or when we're tired. We've got to continue. And that's where perseverance needs to kick in. Number six, stay meaningful, involved in operations. Number seven, use the best tools. Number eight, we cannot get above our business. What does that mean? Money is good for nothing unless we know the value of it by experience. Most people are slaves to money. Are you a slave or are you utilizing it as a tool? Number nine, learn a useful trade. 10, hope is good, but we cannot rely upon it. Hope is not the best way to go, not necessarily. And number 11, stay focused and don't scatter our powers. Number 12, read the news. News is important. And what I do, I invest in money. I need to know what's happening in the news. Beware of outside operations. That's number 13. 14, trust is business. Is best when served when there is skin in the game. Trust. Number 15, advertise. It depends on what you're doing in order to advertise. Sometimes you can get free advertising now, or sometimes you might have to invest. It depends on what it is. Number 16, don't read the other side. Number 17, be polite and kind to customers. Number 18, be charitable. Very powerful, being charitable. I love it. It's an addiction. It can be an addiction if you learn how to applicate it into your life and into other people's well-being. Number 19, don't gossip. It's tough. But talking about other people's, what do you gain from that? And number 20, persevere your integrity. Just like it was talked about Charles and Reggie, we need to persevere. This is it for our review of The Art of Money Getting by P.T. Barnum. Until next week, when we'll review another empowering book in regards to the crypto space. Take care. This is the Mastermind Book Club signing off.